Hi parents, it's Kelly Pfeiffer with Think It Through Parenting, and in this video I am going to give you a pep talk for when you have just yelled at your child and now you're feeling pretty bad about it and not sure what to do. So maybe you've just yelled at your child right now, but this video is here. You can play it again. If it's next week or the next week or the next week that you yell at your child, you can come back here for a little pep talk. So I'll tell you what to do and be encouraging and help you recover from the mistake. So number one, you're very normal. You are doing the best you can, and we all get overwhelmed to the point of yelling because parenting is such a stressful job. It's the toughest job you'll ever love, but man, is it stressful. So I know you're working hard and you're doing the best you can, but we're all going to make mistakes as parents. It's just going to happen. And I love that Positive Discipline has a tool for that. So I don't teach parenting classes because I'm a perfect parent. I teach parenting classes because I love helping parents. But I can be an imperfect parent. I can be an imperfect parent educator and use these 3 R's of recovery to recover from my mistake and actually model a wonderful tool for my child. So let me walk you through this. Before you can use the 3 R's of recovery, you'll need to calm down. If you're watching this video, I'm assuming that you've calmed down and you've realized you made a mistake. So then you're ready to use the 3 R's of recovery. The first R is recognize your mistake with a feeling of responsibility instead of blame. I'll model this for you in just a minute. And then the second R is reconcile by apologizing. Children are so forgiving. And the third R is resolve by working on a solution together. It's like resolve the problem, kind of like, oh, let's look at this again with fresh eyes and see what we will do differently the next time this comes up. So number one, about recognizing your mistake, you're going to go to your child and say, I made a mistake. I yelled at you instead of talking to you in a respectful way. That is how to recognize your mistake with responsibility. Now, the instead of blame part we need to talk about for a minute because some parents apologize and then blame someone else. So I'm sorry, they might say, I'm sorry I yelled, but if you wouldn't leave your toys in the hall, then I wouldn't trip over them and I wouldn't yell at you. That's not taking responsibility for your part in the problem or your part of the problem. So when we say I made a mistake, we want to model that it's my mistake. I yelled. And when we model this, we're also teaching it because our strongest teaching tool with children is our model. So we're modeling exactly what we want children to do when they make a mistake or when they yell. These 3 R's of recovery. So if we model this and model this and model this, often all that modeling is teaching, and our kids end up we never had to teach it. They will end up copying us because they're super copycats. They copy our positive behaviors and then of course the negative behaviors. My kids never slammed a door when they were angry until they saw me slam a door. Yeah, it's just part of parenting. We teach those challenges that we have as well. Then I could use the 3 R's of recovery to recover from the mistake. So that's what you can do to recover from the mistake. Now let's go back to that making a plan for what you can do differently. So let me model it one more time. Hey, I'm sorry I yelled at you. I don't want to yell at you. Please forgive me for yelling at you. Next time that I feel like I'm going to yell, I'm just going to walk away and go calm down and then come back when I can talk in a more respectful way. So when you see me walk away, it's just know that it's because I don't want to yell and I'm walking away, and I'll come back as soon as I've calmed down. So there, you did the R's. You worked on sometimes you're going to work on a plan together with these 3 R's. if it's a problem that both of you were involved in. So you could then talk about the toys in the floor. But if it's just about you yelling, then you're going to say what you're going to do. You're making the plan by yourself. And now, dear parent, I hope you can forgive yourself for the yelling. So after you do this, try to let it go and go fresh into the future with your child, because you're going to be a better parent if you forgive yourself and leave it in the past with your new plan and move on. And let's talk for a minute about, I'd like to talk to you about what you can do when you feel like you're going to yell and you're going to walk away. You're going to take a positive timeout. And a positive timeout is for any family member. It's not just for kids. So as a parent, you can take a positive timeout so that you are taking care of your own stress, and so that you are taking care of your child in a way so you don't yell at your child. And so you may want to do a little soul-searching brainstorming about what would help you calm down when you get super stressed. Many of us were not taught what to do when you get stressed. We were just taught to not, don't make anybody else uncomfortable, but many of us weren't taught what to do. So what I did, I was staying home with my children full time when they were little, and I wrote down a list. I brainstormed a list on a piece of paper and wrote about 5 things on the piece of paper that I could do to calm down. One of them was like scream sing. So it's singing, but it's singing really loud. I love to sing, and it helps me calm down. So that was one of my choices. I think I had crazy dance party on there as one of the choices as well. That my kids and I would just turn the music on and start dancing. This is when they were little. Anyway, you're going to list 5 or 6 choices that you can do to calm down when you're feeling the stress. You're going to do this as a prevention measure. Go do something that is a positive timeout. And then what I did was I put that list inside my pantry door, because when I got really stressed, I couldn't think of one of those things on my list. But I remembered taping the list inside the door because I'm a highly kinesthetic learner. I'm like, yeah, I remember taping that up there. Can't think of anything I wrote on there. So I would go to the door and open it and look and go, oh yeah, I'll choose one of those things. But I would be at such a high stress level that my brain was just not functioning at its best. So one idea is to make that list and put the list in your phone, put the list in your car, put it in some places where you will remember to access it so that you can do one of the things you wrote on there. Maybe you'll be better, at remembering what's on your list, but I couldn't do it. So create your own little calm down idea list, and that is another plan you can do for the future to help you feel better. Because if we have a plan for what we're going to do next time to prevent the yelling, we feel much better. We feel prepared for the situation. We feel like, okay, I can forgive myself because now I have a new plan on what I'm going to do differently next time. And know that this is going to require baby steps. You're not going to just automatically start using your list every time and stop yelling. You're going to make tons of mistakes along the way. It's okay. You can keep modeling these 3 R's of recovery, because every time you model that for your child, that's another time your child gets exposed to the 3 R's of recovery. Guess what happens after children see us do things over and over and over again? It's just like it's programmed into their brain. So if you want your child to learn these 3 R's of recovery, model them a lot. It's okay to make mistakes. Then it's more important about what we do after we make the mistake. So I want you to feel better about yelling at your child. And I want you to have some tools to use that will make the current yelling situation better so you can reconcile with your child, and to have a plan for what you're going to do differently in the future. And mistakes are part of the learning process. You are going to make mistakes in this journey of trying to stop yelling. You're going to make mistakes in other areas of parenting, and that's okay. You don't have to be a perfect parent to be an effective parent. We have to be good enough. That's it. I wish you lots of forgiveness thoughts to forgive yourself for yelling and move forward without beating yourself up too much emotionally. Let it go and start using your new tools, and you will feel better each time you make a little bit more progress. I do want to tell you about these tool cards. If you would like to get them, you can get this printed set from positivediscipline.com. But if you want the card set on your phone in 2 minutes, you can download the app at your app store. It's a one-time $2.99 purchase in English. It's also available in Spanish. Go to your app store and search for Positive Discipline Tool Cards. Hope you've enjoyed this pep talk. I hope you feel better about yourself and your parenting and better about moving forward with some new skills, a new goal for you to learn and to achieve. And if you need this pep talk again, it will be here on my YouTube channel. If you'd like to subscribe, you can click the subscribe button. You can also click the like button, like on Facebook. They have the same thing on YouTube. And again, it's Kelly Pfeiffer with Think It Through Parenting. Hope you've enjoyed this pep talk.